Hey guys, Orc here. In this video we're going to be going over my Zenyatta Discord Inferno build I used to climb from Rookie to Legend in a single season. This build is absolutely insane. It's easy to use and I will do my best to explain it so that you too can become a legend. This build has one of the highest damage outputs in the game as a healer while pumping out ridiculous heals. It's easy to pick up even as a beginner. This build doesn't require you to have godlike aim or ridiculous amounts of playtime. It just hits. If this all sounds interesting to you, let's dive in. At the start of round 1, you will want to get these nodes. For the power, you will want to get Discord Inferno. For your items, you want to get Compensator, Weapon Grease, and Armored Vest. Enemies affected by your Discord Orb when critically hit will explode, dealing 50 extra damage. You'll see these purple explosions that deal extra damage to the target and nearby enemies whenever you headshot. This is huge for the early rounds. For the first 2 rounds, you want to focus on attack damage and attack speed. These are important as you will focus on discording your enemies while attempting to hit headshots. I just love how you can see those headshots with Discord Inferno. That pop sound and animation are just so satisfying. During the first couple rounds is where you want to try and accumulate cash. The amount of stadium cash awarded to you is determined by the amount of heal, damage, and eliminations done in each round. High impactful players on the enemy team will accumulate bounties for their death, and a partial of their bounty will be awarded to you if you eliminate that player. Additionally, the player on each team with the highest amount of cash farmed during the round will receive a $1,000 bonus cash. Focusing on your damage and attack speed allows you to really ramp up the cash gained early to start a nice snowball effect for mega income as the match progresses. At the start of round 2, you will want to get the power Inner Peace. This will keep a Harmony Orb on you to help you with survivability while you pump out insane damage from your weapon power and attack speed. As for nodes, you will want to grab Orb of Perception. This will give you 15% weapon power and 15% ability power, and targets affected by the Discord Orb will be revealed to you. If you have an uneven amount of money or are playing a capture the point type of map or a closed quarter map, I suggest picking up the node Phantasmic Flux first. I will explain in more detail why you will want this node. The second node you will want to pick up is Wrist Wraps. This gives you not only attack speed, but it also adds a small bonus to your ability power and HP. With any leftover cash, feel free to pick up nodes that will give you attack damage, attack speed, or armor. You might feel this build is a little squishy compared to others, but try to keep positioning and you should be fine. During round 3, the power node you want to get is Enlightenment. This heals allies affected by your Harmony Orb based on 35% of the damage you output. And just FYI, your Harmony Orb lasts about 5 seconds on your ally if you don't have direct line of sight. For clarification, Enlightenment does not stack with Inner Peace. So the 35% of the damage you deal only applies to your teammates who have the Harmony Orb attached to them, and it will not affect the Harmony Orb that is attached to you by Inner Peace. At this point, if you haven't already, make sure to grab Phantasmic Flux. It's an absolute game changer for this build. And depending on the amount of cash you gained, you can pair that up with some of my favorites like Advanced Nanobiotics or Techno Leech. I recommend you get Phantasmic Flux as it will help you life leech as you output damage in order to stay alive longer while battling at close range. Additionally, while at full life, Phantasmic Flux lifesteal will grant you 100 overhealth. This boosts your base health by roughly 35%, making you noticeably tankier when enemies dive in. On top of that, the lifesteal helps you sustain and survive longer during engagements. By the start of round 4, you should have mostly purple epic nodes in your item slots. Keep in mind, round 4 does not give you a power up. At this point, I like to pick up 2 epic weapon nodes, Genji's Galvanic Gloves and Super Flexor. Genji's Galvanic Gloves can be used to replace Wrist Wraps since it has the 10% attack speed modification, but also adds 10% weapon power and it charges your secondary Orb of Destruction 20% faster. Super Flexor will give you 25 health and 10% weapon power. When you deal weapon damage or healing, you gain 5% ability power for 3 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So basically, as long as you're doing damage or healing once every 3 seconds, which is pretty much constant, you can get a max ability power spike of 25%, which will allow your Harmony Orb to output insane healing for both you and your ally, as well as boost your Harmony Orb healing that is attached to you through your Inner Peace. I feel that not every build has to follow the same path in Stadium. I feel like you have to adapt in situations based on character selection and survivability. Every match is different, so the amount of cash you have available to spend in your loadout will usually be slightly different from the previous game, but your build should look something like this. If the match reaches round 5, you will want to pick up Flying Kick for mobility and also knocking back tanks, kicking away Genjis, Tracers, and flanking Reapers. All that attack power that you've been building up carries over to your snap kick or your melee kick for some serious damage. Flying Kick, however, refreshes every 5 seconds and has to be used while airborne. For your last node, I personally like to get Eye of the Spider. It gives a whopping 25% weapon power spike, so you can really feel the damage in the final round. If you have any leftover cash, try and pick up a node that will give you attack speed. The one I like to usually get is wrist wraps. If you feel like you're dying a lot in the first 4 rounds, I suggest getting a survival node such as Overdrive Core or Nebula Conduit. You can get the nodes that give you more damage or survivability based on how you feel you are doing in the previous rounds. Now that we've gone over the Discord Inferno build, let's go over some strategies with this build. I believe positioning in Stadium is key to victory. You will typically want to be behind your tank and always try to have cover, as tanks and DPS will try and dive you. If you have time to charge your Orb of Destruction, do so behind cover and spam into their tank and tank shield, or healers and DPS in the backline. If you like playing in third person, this actually makes hitting those charge orbs way easier. You can peek corners and pop out with a full charge right to the face. This strategy can one-shot DPS and healers, and I feel it's easy to do so on heroes like Ashe and Ana. Discording enemies is crucial to success. In my opinion, you will want to discord primarily on the tank, since the tank will always be in the front line. Eliminating the tank has a big impact since it opens up the rest of the fight for your team. If a DPS or healer comes to flank you, switch your Discord orb to the flanker and spam your orbs using left click. I wouldn't recommend charging here, as you have a limited amount of time before you are dead. Your Harmony orb should be placed on your tank for the majority of the match, and since this build is focused on attack speed, spamming left click allows you to do massive amounts of damage while keeping your team and tank alive. Once you've built up enough ult charge, you'll want to pop your Transcendence to counter the enemy's ult. A few of the key ultimates to watch out for are Zarya's Graviton Surge, Sigma's Flux, Genji's Dragon Blade, and Reaper's Death Blossom. You will act as a meat shield for your entire team by using Transcendence. Transcendence can also be used offensively to save your tank in critical moments, which can be a huge game changer. This will allow your team to advance onto the enemy tank or get in the backline if needed. Another quick tip about Transcendence is that when Ana purples you with her Biotic Grenade, or Junker Queen ults you with her Rampage, you become purple and you cannot be healed. Both these purples can be taken off by popping your Transcendence. This will keep you from dying from the damage over time from Rampage, and possible damage over time from Ana's Grenade if she has Venomous in her power arsenal. By popping your Transcendence, you will become invulnerable and be able to cleanse yourself of all negative effects and damage over time. However, keep in mind that it will only counter the purple for yourself and not your entire team. Another strategic use of Transcendence I've come across while playing Stadium is the ability to stall clash or control maps so that your team has time to get to the point, especially if your team is trickling in. To name a few, this would be useful on are maps like Samoa, Throne of Anubis, Gogodoro, and Oasis Garden. I did forget to mention that you can also pop Transcendence to avoid being killed by Diva's Self-Destruct ult, Junker's Riptire, and Tracer's Pulse Bomb. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll be sure to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please like and subscribe. I hope to see you all in the stadium. Orc out.